Karibuni sana to this particular DevJunction event. My name is Edwin Methil. I am the Community Associate at IHAM Kenya. So I'd just like to once again tell you Karibuni sana. So this particular event today, we're having it in collaboration with an organization, a partner collaboration of organization of ours, known as Workforce Africa. They'll be able to talk about what they do, a bit now, how ideally they can help yourselves to ideally, source and ideally get this kind of tech opportunities, while as well as having a conversation in around the tech ecosystem, ideally how people can get these kind of opportunities, and where to find the opportunities at the end of the day that we are looking for. So I'm just ideally just going to kick off this particular session by quickly just going through what we do as an organization as I have Kenya. So IHAB is what is defined as entrepreneur support organization. We work with entrepreneurs, innovators, business owners to ideally help them build and scale their particular solutions to the next level. We mostly do this by running incubator and accelerator programs, where we then work with these particular innovators to ideally build a particular solution. We normally do this by giving them access to funding, helping them design their particular products, helping them find talent to ideally then grow this particular product of this particular organization as well. But at the end of the day, also connecting them to other sources of investment to ideally help them grow their particular and be able to do more with more resources and with more capital. But yes, in a nutshell, that's what we do. We've run a couple of different programs. Currently, we have the Mastercard Foundation Entrepreneurship Program, where we're supporting 12 medtech startups here in Kenya and 12 as well in Nigeria, ideally over a course of about 18 months, giving them access to funding, while as well, helping them to grow their particular solution, their particular product. We as well do have a Spark Accelerator program that we're running in collaboration with Safaricom and Pesa and an organization known as Sumitomo. Just to name but a few, we run these kinds of programs throughout the whole of the year. So if you'd like to know more about what we do as an organization, do feel free just to look us up at our social media channels that I have Kenya all across the social media channels, and you'll be able to find out more about what we're doing, as well as the different kind of programs that we have and how you can possibly as well get to benefit from them. So welcome. So this particular event today is known as the DevJunction. The DevJunction is basically our developer community. So within the organization, within IHAB, we try to support different types of ecosystem, different types of innovators. And one of the innovators, one of the different communities that we support, the startup, the developer community. So the DevJunction is our monthly meetup series for the developers, where we ideally get to engage different developers from across the ecosystem, talk about thematical topics of areas of interest, and ideally just give them an opportunity and a platform just to engage, interact, and hopefully network and build new solutions and come up with crazy inventions that will ideally hopefully propel the future of this particular nation and hopefully the globe as well at the end of the day. So we do these kinds of meetups once a month. We used to have them at our space, but then we currently are unfortunately homeless. There's my colleague that's ideally dropping a couple of chats there, ideally just linking the different kind of programs that I mentioned and as well different kinds of social media channels. But yes, we currently unfortunately are homeless at this point in time, but our new office will be hopefully ready before the end of this particular month. So once it's ready, we'll then invite you back to actually, have this kind of spaces, this kind of now conversations face to face, and not just behind a screen. But yes, karibuni sana. That's in a nutshell who we are, and that's in a nutshell what this particular space is all about. But for today, the conversation is just not with us. We have a guest. We have a very, very big team that's here to ideally just talk about how best we can find these type of opportunities, how ideally best we can source the right type of talent for this type of tech roles in and around the continent. So yeah, so to ideally just kick off this particular session, I'm gonna invite one particular individual from Workforce Africa to really just talk about their particular journey, what is it that they actually do, and how it actually can get benefit from the kind of amazing work that they're trying to do within this particular startup ecosystem. So Bona Jackson Owago, karibu sana. I'm going to give you the chances to introduce yourself, talk about a little bit about, first of all, yourself and this organization, and then we'll then know the conversation for the day. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Edwin, for that introduction. I'd also like to say thank you for allowing us to be part of this community. We are very grateful. I'd like to start with introducing myself. My name is Jackson Owago. I work with Workforce Africa. Um, Workforce Africa is basically a consulting firm. Before I continue, I'm going to be mentioning Newton a lot in this conversation. So I'd like Newton to first kind of introduce himself really quickly before I continue and talk about Workforce Africa. Newton, maybe you can go ahead and say just one or two things, and then I'll continue with the Workforce introduction.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Newton Gare from Pundit Space, top tech talent platform. We are co-partnering with the Workforce Africa, and I believe Mr. Wago will be talking more about us. So, thank you for joining the DevJunction, and looking forward to having a lovely event.
Fantastic, Newton. I didn't want to be calling out his name throughout this session without you having to get to see and understand and have an introduction of him. So now let's just quickly go ahead and talk about Workforce Africa before I jump into Pundit Space. So Workforce Africa is a consulting firm, and we have transitioned from initially being just a HR consulting firm to now we have spread our wings to various aspects. And I'll get into that in a few. That is things to do with training, things to do with Pundit Space, which is a tech a hub, as well as other aspects of Workforce Africa, which I'll talk about. Now, we have been in existence for the last 11 years. We were conceptualized in 2013. We are in Kenya. Majorly, Kenya is our main branch, but main situation of operation here in Westlands, Nairobi. But we do have presence in 11 countries spread across East Africa. So in East Africa, we have an office in Dar es Salaam, as well as Uganda, Kampala in East Africa, and also we have presence in DRC and Rwanda. In North Africa, we have presence in Nigeria as well as Ghana. On the south, we have presence in Malawi, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, as well as Zambia, and Angola. Being more of our operations. We are looking to spread our wings into 21 countries before the end of 2025. So pray for us that we are able to reach that goal. The reason why we are spreading our wings far and wide is because we want to make sure that we bring talent to those who are looking to look for talent. Now, talent, by talent, I mean, in a simple word, it's just those who are looking for work, right? That is what we like to massage as talent, but basically, in a nutshell, it's just those who are looking for employment, what we refer to talent. So when we want to bring talent closer to those who are looking to look for talent, so whether it is international organizations who are spreading their wings toward to Africa, or whether it is the local business landscape that is growing exponentially, who are looking to employ people within the African landscape. So we are able to assist them in every location that we are in. So if, for instance, Safaricom is getting into Ethiopia and getting into other sections, we're able to assist them to understand the environment, to assist them in terms of recruitment within that section. Or if there's an organization like MTN Global who is coming into Kenya, we have a vast knowledge of how the landscape works in terms of the HR policies and recruitment policies and work permits and et cetera, et cetera. So those ones will be able to assist this organization. So that's organizations in terms of recruitment of talent within each and every market that we are in. Now, to jump quickly into Pundit Space, in 2022, when we were doing our recruitment, we got to realize that there is a challenge and a gap in terms of recruiting for tech, right? When organizations came to us and told us, hey, we're looking for developers, we're looking for cybersecurity professionals, we're looking for designers or mobile developers or mobile app developers, we found it that organizations like us were struggling to get this talent, and most of them would we would go to each other, we would go to corporate staffing, we would go to Hallmark and etc. to be able to kind of find where can we get the best tech talent. So that is where the idea of Pundit Space was birthed. we wanted a platform where we could bring together all tech professionals in one place so that organizations could come in and kind of just go through the profiles and find out, hey, who would be the best person to hire for this role, right? And we decided that that is something that we are going to develop. And we've been doing that since 2022 up to date. We built up a huge pool of talent who we are going to share with you how the process works, who now organizations come to us and say, hey, we are looking for 50 developers, we're looking for 50 cybersecurity professionals, et cetera, and they are able to now get this talent from our talent space. Now, it does work in a similar way as the way Upwork works, but the difference with us is that we have niched down to tech talent because that is where the pain point is for several organizations, okay? So with that, I'd like Newton to kind of share the slide presentation that we had so that we can give you a bit of context of what we are talking about when it comes to Pundit Space. Newton, you can go ahead and share the slide. And before Newton does that, or as Newton is doing that, I would like this session to be more of an interactive session, not necessarily as you guys are just looking at a slide and me talking through it. I'd like you guys to kind of interact with us and with this within this forum, so that it can become more of an interactive session and you can be able to ask questions and get feedback up to date. So later, I'd like you to move to the next slide. So this is our presentation for today. We are looking to how to enhance recruitment within the tech space. So I need you all to be able to Google this. Google this, basically Google this. It's www.punditspace.io. Linton, if it's possible, please leave a link on the chat so that it can be easier for everyone to be able to get into the website. The reason why I want you to do this is because I want to show you how easy it is to actually join our platform. All right. And the features that we have there and the benefits that you'll be able to get as tech talent within this platform. Anyone who has been able to join? All right, anyone who has been able to join, just raise your hand. Or rather, anyone who has been able to, is there anyone, Edwin?
Yes, I have actually been able to. I'm currently on the platform.
All right. So David has been able to join. So there's a section at the top there that asks you to join. That says join. Is it? Have you seen it? Have you seen it, guys?
Join now.
Join now. Exactly. Join now. Yeah. Yes, so just click on that and then quickly join so that we can share with you what it is that this space is all about. If you're facing any challenges, just raise your hand and let us know. So Newton will be able to be keeping tabs on the flow of traffic within the platform. Newton, is there anyone that has already set up their profile? So the beauty of it is that you are able, just the way Upwork works, you're able to set up a profile, and within that profile, potential employers, will be able to see your profile and then reach out to you directly and tell you, hey, we like what we see. Can we have a conversation?
So yes, we have Grishon, we have Michelle, we have Austin.
All right. So thank you, guys. Thank you all for joining in. Let us know, go through the platform as we are going through this session, go through it. And if you have any questions or any challenges you're facing within that platform, we'll get back into that, a live show of how the platform works. But in case you're facing any challenges, I wanted us to, as we go through this slide and we go through the presentation, I want you to be with your phone or your laptop, seeing it real time of how this process actually works, how Pundit Space actually works. Okay. All right, so Newton, you can move on to the next slide so that we can go a bit deeper into what Pundit Space is about, all right? So like the slide says, we are a tech talent marketplace where one thing that organizations do is they come to look for talent. And I can tell you for free that organizations are really struggling to get the best of the best. And that is what Pundit Space is supposed to kind of fix. We are supposed to be able to have talent that we have been able to vet, talent that we have been able to get to understand exactly what they are at the level of their career, whether they are beginning or whether they are seasoned talent. We are able to understand that within the platform once you share your experience and within your profile, right? So what we do is that we bridge the gap between those who are seeking to find opportunities in employment and organizations that are looking to employ. So we bridge that gap. And they come to us because they are struggling to get the best of the best. And we are able to source that within our platform, right? Like I mentioned earlier on, we were founded roughly in 2021 by Workforce Africa. So Workforce Africa came up with the idea, the organization came up with the idea of a recruitment platform for basically tech talent, right? So we have transitioned from just becoming a tech marketplace. Now we are offering services such as outsourcing and project management. And I'll get into these two sections in a bit when we'll talk about what outsourcing actually is and what project management we actually do. So we are located in Westlands, like I mentioned, on the third floor of Azure Towers on Lantana Road. And we have, like I mentioned earlier on, we have presence in 11 countries spread across Africa. Nishan, you can go ahead to the next slide so that we can talk about the recruitment process. So this is what we call the tech recruitment, all right? And I'll briefly take you through a basic recruitment process from a perspective of a recruitment organization. So what happens in a recruitment process first is we do something called sourcing, all right? And this is where our platform comes in. And that's why organizations really come to us, because our platform has an algorithm that will consolidate all the possible matching profiles for those who have registered within the Pundit Space. So let's maybe Newton quickly explain how the algorithm works so that you can move on to the next one. Newton, tell us how the algorithm actually works.
Sure thing, Jackson. So good evening, everybody. So this is how our Pundit Space algorithm works. A user, like I have seen some few people have registered in the platform. Once you've completed registration, you should visit the settings, go to your profile settings. Then on the profile settings, you're supposed to upload your skills. In the skills uploading, the platform will ask you what percent of knowledge do you have in maybe JavaScript, in maybe SQL or something. And from the details and the data that you will share, our platform we will be using that in our algorithm. So case study, assuming today Safaricom comes to us and tells us that we need a Flutter developer, we will just go back to the platform using the algorithm, source for all the viable candidates, then check at the percentage knowledge that a person has registered in the platform. That will also help us in tech assessment, of which I know Jackson will talk about. So basically, that's how the algorithm works. You need to update your skills in the platform so that the algorithm can be able to match you to a certain job description. So yeah, Jackson, I think I've expounded.
Yes. So that is why it is important to completely fill in your profile within the platform, because organizations will just be able to type in certain keywords to be able to source you out. So it's important that you are able to fill your details within when you're filling in the profile. So next, once we are able to source, now it comes to the screening process. Now the screening process it's an in-platform segregation mechanism that filters out professionals by the skills that you have. And like Newton mentioned, once an organization wants a specific skill, yes, they'll be able to type in that skill, and then they'll be able to screen the specific candidates that they're looking for, and then they'll be able to reach out to you, right? Then after that, we move into the assessment process. So we've been able to source and then screen for the specific skills that you're looking for. And now we need to be able to assess you for these particular skills. There's one thing to be able to say that you can be able to do something. There's another thing that you can be able to actually do it. So we do perform online technical assessments where we screen candidates based on the skills that they have. And those who are able to succeed will be able to move into the next process of interviewing. Okay, so that is how thorough our process is. We have to make sure that we assess you for the basic skills that we have, that you have. All right. After that, then it moves to the once you're able to pass the assessment, then you'll move into the interview section, where now you'll have either a first virtual interview or a physical interview, depending on your location, depending on the organization's needs. All right. So once we do a physical and a virtual interview with our tech recruiters, then is when we move to the hiring process. Okay. Any questions up to there before we talk about something else? Any questions on this process or on the tech recruitment from the audience? Are there any questions? No questions. All right. So once we move, that is the basic hiring process, or rather tech recruitment, and this is one of the things that we do as workforce, or rather as Pundit Space, or what Pundit Space does, right? So we can move on to the next slide, Newton. All right, now this is the one thing that we wanted to talk about so much today, something we call outsourcing of tech talent. Now, what is outsourcing? Outsourcing is basically just the functions that you wanted to do, you let someone else do them on your behalf, all right? So outsourcing could mean just in simple terms, it could just mean, let's say, for example, you have your own house, all right? And you don't want to keep going to the kitchen to cook. So you hire a chef, you hire a chef to come and cook for you on a regular basis. So that is just a basic definition of outsourcing the kitchen duties to a chef, right? So we are the ones that organizations outsource this service to, and we outsource the whole recruitment process, plus the onboarding, plus the performance, administration, payment, etc., etc. So I'll get into them one by one. So the first thing that organizations tend to outsource to us is recruitment. They tell us, you know what, as we can't go through the recruitment process, or either we don't have the manpower to be able to go through the recruitment process, or the time, or the resources. So let us outsource this process to you so that you can be able to recruit on our behalf. So that is where the tech recruitment comes in the first place. So we recruit through that whole process that I had taken you through. We assess and select candidates for the organization. Now, some organizations would stop at that, but others would tell us, you know what, just go ahead and take up these candidates as your own, and then we'll be able to facilitate other things like their payment, their benefits, right? So now when we are onboarding, is our role now to facilitate orientation, to let you know what the organization is about, what their strategy is about, what their role is within the organization. And then we integrate you into the organization's structure or the organization, basically. So when outsourcing works, and most organizations that come in from, or other international organizations, they come into the country and they want a couple of tech people to do certain roles. So instead of actually setting up an office, because for you to employ people in Kenya as an international organization, you have to set up a legal entity in Kenya. So they do not want to do that, because either they are on the testing phase of the kind of product they are trying to put out. So they look for organizations like ours to be able to outsource talent from. So that happens. Once they're able to do that, now we handle the day-to-day management of the employees, where we do performance management. You make sure that you set responsibilities within your role. You make sure that you meet the expectations of the organization that is outsourcing to us. We handle administrative issues such as contracts and taxation and benefits and et cetera. And then we are able to assist the organization in terms of replacement. And that's one thing I'll talk about towards the end, why organizations are struggling with getting the right talent. It's a big problem, and we'll talk about it once that happens. So this is an advantage for everyone who is joining the Pundit Space, because we are able to source talent directly from Pundit Space. We do not really advertise for most tech talents unless we are unable to find it within Pundit Space. We just source for talent within the Pundit Space pool. All right. Any questions on tech talent outsourcing, or any input anyone might have?
Sorry, let Harry go first.
Sure.
Yeah. So you talked about outsourcing of the recruitment process for performance administration. So that means the client can give you the entire job that is required to be done, and you just deliver it without the client. Or do you also have options where you just recruit for the client only?
Yeah, I didn't get the question very clearly. You're saying?
Is it only recruitment that you will handle and the rest of the things, or you can still handle the client project? Can you handle the client project?
Yes, we are getting into that. That is the third
Okay.
section. Yes, that's the third section of this. So we do handle the clients projects, and I'll take you through how that also works.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, just stick around, Harry. I'll answer your question then. Any other question?
Mine was just in and around the number of opportunities that you end up to getting. Given the fact that I'm guessing you do have like a large database of different freelancers or ideally people that are looking for opportunities, looking to be matched to this kind of opportunities. If you don't mind me asking this, on average, how many would you say opportunities, how many types of number of roles would you be able to get in a week's time, in a month's time, that ideally people can then look forward to? That's kind of hope to get opportunities.
All right, thank you, Edwin, for that. I'll let Newton take that one before we talk to John. So Newton, I think if I get Edwin's question correctly, is what is the kind of traffic in terms of jobs and freelance gigs that people are able to get within the Pundit Space?
Okay, I'll just be brief in this. We can do it on a quarterly. I can just do it on a quarterly basis. We usually have a turnaround rate of around 800 techies in the platform who usually get jobs through Pundit Space. Some are tech project management, which Jackson will talk about. Others are tech recruitment, where we have even very senior guys getting roles. So yeah, I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, I've been able to. My sincere apologies. I think there's a chat here that I guess a simulation. Check the platform so we can have a look at
that. All right. Did Newton able to answer your question, Edwin?
Yes, very clear.
All right, fantastic. So we had a hand up. I think it was John Mark.
Yes, it's kind of a follow-up to the previous question. Do you exclusively just have jobs in dev, or do you have beyond dev, e.g. project management, product management, or you're just focusing on dev?
No, and I'll answer this question, and then Newton can also add on to something on top of that. When it comes to Pundit Space, we are focusing on tech talent because of how the platform is designed. But we are able to recruit for any other roles within Workforce Africa as an organization. Workforce Africa is a recruitment agency as well as a human resource consultancy firm. So any job that falls outside of tech, we are able to recruit within Workforce Africa. but Pundit Space is more engineered to tech talent. I don't know if that answers your question, or Newton, would you want to expand on that?
Sure thing, Jackson. I think I'll just mention some but a few of the fields that our platform sorts out. So we're in the artificial intelligence realm, software engineering, data science and analytics, UI UX design, cybersecurity, cloud computing, and DevOps. I also had you, John. It's John, right?
Yeah, John.
You're asking project management. Yes, that is something we offer in the platform, but for product management, not at the moment.
Right. So when it comes to our roles that are not within the platform, then you can be able to look into Workforce Africa as a recruitment firm to be able to get some of those roles. And I would request Newton to share Workforce Africa's website on the chat so that you can be able to have a look at what we do as Workforce Africa. Okay, I hope that answers your question, John.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Any other question, Edwin, from the audience?
Just to break, just for a moment, Mr. Jackson, I can see Sharon is asking. She's saying that she can't be able to join. It is telling her that email has not been configured. So Sharon or any other person who is facing the similar challenge, you can log in with the username and the password that you've just created. Go to the settings and go to your account settings, then go to email configuration. Due to time, as we wind up, I'll share a link to our community group, community WhatsApp channel. I'll be able to expound more on that.
All right, fantastic. All right, Sharon, just hang in there. We'll be able to sort you out. All right. Any other question from the floor, Edwin?
I think at this point you're all good.
All right, fantastic. So we'll move on to the next aspect of what Pundit Space does, and this is going to answer Harry's question of tech project management. All right. So based on what Harry was asking is that are we able to manage projects aside from recruitment and outsourcing? Yes, we are able to manage projects. We are currently managing, is it 2 projects, Newton, or 2 or 3 projects?
It's actually 5.
Oh, 5 projects, sorry. Sorry, 5 projects. We are currently managing 5 projects for various organizations and the process of our tech project management is that first we just take up the project, and as an organization you don't worry about getting developers or getting the project done or the timelines. You just first we collect the requirements. So as a client or as an organization, you'll tell us what is it that you need or you want done, and the timelines and the budget that you have. And then from there, we are able to now dedicate a team from Pundit Space, and that's why we want people to join Pundit Space, because that is where we'll be able to source our talents. Once we assign the team, it's an in-house project where we'll be able to now bring our individuals into the project. So whether it is a mobile development or other mobile app development, we're able to bring in mobile app developers from Pundit Space, and then we assign them the requisite roles within that our project. And that is one other thing Newton had mentioned, that do we hire tech project managers? Of course, we do hire tech project managers who are able now to take the project to the next level. So we are able to source for tech project managers within the platform as well. And then this project manager will be able to now delegate tasks to developers to indicate, the expected deliverables within the project. Based on project management frameworks, now it's the role of the project manager to be able to kind of set a quality assurance, based on what the client is looking for. And then once the project is done, depending on the timeline, then we are able to deliver the project to the client on time, obviously at the budget that they were looking at, right? So this is one thing we have done. Maybe Newton, you can be able to kind of share some of the organizations that we are currently running projects for. I know one is Zepri. Which one is the other one?
Okay, I'll just mention some, but a few.
Just mention some of the projects that we're working on currently.
We have got Ceridian, which is in Mauritius. We have a project for them. We have Eka Africa. We have Drive project, and we have one for Isiolo County. Okay, some others I can't mention due to NDAs,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I think you understand.
Yeah. So basically, we do projects in and outside of the country. We have organizations that are source for our project management, or other track project management outside of the country, even within our country. So I don't know. I've seen Harry's hand up. Harry, you wanted to ask a question?
Yes, I wanted to ask about a different model, the workforce extension model, where the developer or the software engineer or the data analyst is your employer as funded, is before work is contracted to you, but works with me as a client on daily basis, so that they are involved and they are part of my team, but they are not employed by me.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a model like that?
Yes, that is the outsourcing model that we talked about previously in the previous slide, where you are able to come to us and say, hey, Jackson, I'm looking to have 2 developers to come and work for me. Can I be able to outsource developers from you? Say yes. We are able to recruit the kind of developer you're looking for. We're able to onboard them into our system as our employees. And what they do is just show up to your organization as someone who's coming to work, but the other administrative and performance and etc. and even training are done by us. All they have to do is just they come to your premise and start to work. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, are you able
Yeah.
to share info after the meeting?
Yes, we will be able to share info after the meeting. I don't know if there's a way we can contact you. Edwin, can you advise?
My apologies. Yes, I think we can just share the email addresses, our email address in the chat. Then we can.
Oh yeah.
Later. But yes,
All right.
I'll just chat having directly.
Okay, fantastic. I think what we can do is for us to be able to reach out to you, Henry. I think Newton will be able to share our email address so that at least you can send us an email, and then from there we can be able to get your contacts, and we can be able to share more and have more conversation on this. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, Newton, you can go ahead and share our email address on the chat so that I can be able to. Handy can be able to reach out to us. So it's info@punditspace.io. Just send us a quick hey, and then we'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, Harry?
Yeah, thank you.
So I saw something that looks like a question on the chat. Is it a question or a comment?
It was a question from Francis Mwengai. He is asking, you can see that there are packages and credits in the dashboard. Can you shed more light?
I didn't get that.
So the question reads, it's from one Francis Mwengai. He mentioned that you can see that there are packages and credits on the dashboard. I'm guessing the platform. So this way to shed more light on how that works.
Or the packages on the platform. I don't know if Newton, you can able to take that one.
Sure thing. Francis, currently the packages and the credits are a feature upgrade. It is not yet implemented, but how that will work is similarly as other marketplaces work. Pundit Space will have so many clients in that we will open the marketplace whereby individual job givers will be able to communicate with you internally, as we will also integrate a chat feature, which is it's actually onboarded on the platform. There is a chat feature. You can chat inside the platform with a viable job giver and then decide on the pricing and everything. So that will be something that we'll update on our socials once the integration has been completed.
Right. How that
Okay,
answers
let me
the question. Okay.
in the packages, once that is done, you as a freelancer will now be able to sell yourself in the platform. You will be able to advertise your services. I'm Francis Muigai. I'm good at Django development. This and these are my rates. So that's something in inception, and we will have the updates roll over onto production very soon. So for the guys who are joining Pundit Space, we have a lot in store for you.
All right. Fantastic. I hope that answers your question. Any other question on the floor, Eden? All right. Okay. Thank you so much. We can move on to the next slide, Newton. So here we were looking at, so why would you join Pundit Space? Why would you contract us to outsource, or rather, like Harry, we were talking about with Harry, why would you outsource talent to us? Why would you ask us to manage your project? All right. So these are some of the reasons. I'll just quickly go through them. First of all, you join Pundit Space because we have, just like I have and Edwin and the team are doing, we are also building a community, right? So we would want to be part of the iHub community. I believe we are already part of the iHub community, and it's a community that we want to be able to share knowledge. We want to be able to share jobs. We want to be able to, and that's to be part of a like-minded community. And I know the benefits of being part of a community, and I know you understand the benefits of being part of a community. And what we have on offer is that we are able to bridge that gap for you, whether you are an employer or an employee. We'll be able to bridge that gap within that space. That's why we would like you to be part of our community, right? So we'll be able to create, as Pundit Space goes, we're able to create career growth avenues, obviously job opportunities, and that is what Newton was talking about. We're able to kind of bring in situations like trainings, we're able to bring events like this ones to be able to kind of interact with like-minded individuals, right? So for organizations, you'll be able to access a pool of talent within the platform where you'll be able to get every kind of tech talent that you're looking for within the platform. And also you'll be able to outsource services, which makes it hassle-free. And for someone who owns a business, you can agree with me that managing talent or managing employees can be a bit of a challenge. If especially when you don't have that structure in place. So that is why we'll be able to give you a talent or a hassle-free talent management. When it comes to project management, we also guarantee a time lead project execution, because we have dedicated project managers who will be able to take your project and be able to deliver it within the time frame that you are looking into. We have, since we have been in existence for the last 11 years, we've been able to build a huge workforce that can be able to handle this kind of project effectively. There's no time that you will run out of or have a shortage of interviewers or have a shortage of project managers, because we have been able to build a database. When you talk about effective risk management, is that we cushion organizations, especially against something that really happened to us. And I don't know if I'm at liberty to mention this situation in this platform, Newton. You can guide me on that. We did have an organization that had a situation where they got sued by one of the people that we had sent to them. But just it turns out that we are the ones that got to take up the risk as opposed to the organization, because the employee was outsourced to us. So we do have effective risk management when it comes to your interaction with the talents. We do want people to have a conducive working environment, but more times than not, some of that environment is never that conducive, and risks tend to occur. Another thing is that we pride ourselves in timely communication with stakeholders, whether it is whether you ask us a question on the Pundit Space platform as a talent, we are able to respond to you real time, or whether you're an organization who's looking to understand how our process works, we pride ourselves in effective and timely communication. And I think Edwin can be able to attest to that during our conversations. So we pride ourselves in that. I'd like to move into something else really quickly. Newton, you can go ahead and move to the next slide. So these are some of the individuals that can be able to testify on the Pundit Space and their experience on working with Pundit Space. So I'll bring in one of the individuals who has been able to benefit from Pundit Space. Newton, you can go ahead and introduce.
I think Emmanuel Kiprop Kimutai, I think you're in the call with us. This is one of our beneficiaries, one of the beneficiaries of Pundit Space. I think you can share a few.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, Emmanuel, we can hear you. So share with us your experience when one was your first interaction with Pundit Space, your experience so far, and what would you like to tell the audience?
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Emmanuel Kiprop Kimutai, and I'm a mobile developer. I am part of Pundit Space, consulting on behalf of them for ECA Africa. And coming into Pundit Space was, I say, luck. It was like the stars had aligned for me because a friend of mine told me about the Pundit Space platform. And I was like, there are a lot of platforms out there that I've heard of, and they all have the same like Fiverr freelance style of doing things. So, but she was really persistent and convinced me to jump in, and I was able to join in the Pundit Space. And funny enough, like after a few weeks of being on the platform, I got an opportunity to speak with Newton, who told me about the gig at ECA Africa. They did the interview just how as they have presented the slide, and that's how I got sourced and worked with ECA Africa. Yeah, that is a bit of my story, and it is one of the coolest places for anyone who wants to join, because one thing about Pundit Space that I really love about them is they really take care of their developers. Like they really do. And that is something I've highly benefited from. The constant communication with Newton, always sorting me out whenever I have an issue here and there. And yeah, that has been my journey, and I invite anyone to join in. Thank you.
Jackson, we have one CTO from Brand Magma, Mr. Brian Imwene. I think you're in the crowd.
Hi, Newton. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm in the meeting. It's been great hearing the story. I think I'll share my story from a client's. When I joined Brand Magma about a year and a half ago, the first task I was given was there's a new oil and gas company player in Nairobi. It's part of the subsidiary groups. So I was tasked to embark on a project to develop their inventory management system. So through a friend, I think you know Samson, I was able to meet up with Newton, give him the task at hand. We had a few meetings at our office, a few at their offices. And since it was a startup, I didn't actually have a big team to work with. So the guys at Pundit Space, they helped me set up a team. And the thing that I liked with the developers that I was assigned was the best practices. I know we normally say this a lot in the but the stories about coherence, documentation, keeping your code clean and maintainable, they followed all that. And I think we'll be rolling out the inventory management system. We've gone to them to KPA, check out the stock, the as in white fuels, the dashboard is coming through. So really excited about future projects. And I think once we roll this out, we'll share it in the, since I've already joined the Pundit Space community, I think we'll be able to share the success.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Brian, for that. I don't know if there's anyone who has questions or anyone else who would like to give a testimony. All right. Okay. So are we good on time, Edwin? Okay, fantastic. Newton, what is you can go ahead on the last, is it the last slide of our presentation today?
Yes, this is the last slide.
Oh, there's a question. Actually, there's a question from Alex Owino, and I can see another question from Alex Kitura. Maybe you can handle that one, Alex Owino. What was the question?
For Alex, I don't think it was a question. It was more of a comment. He is very humble to join the meeting. And I think this goes to Medhu. He is requesting to receive a record of the session. For Alex, okay.
So sorry to cut you short. We're actually just trying to respond. So we will be uploading this particular session at I Have Kenya. So feel free, before the end of this particular session will be uploaded there. So if you'd like to listen to this particular conversation, if there any point of information you missed, feel free to have a look before Friday, and then you'll be able to find this particular session there.
Right. Okay. What was the second question, Nathan?
Alex was asking whether you are required to be a computer science or have an IT degree to be a freelancer and have the required skills. Okay, I have not yet got what he meant by have the required skills. I don't know if you'll take this one, Mr. Jackson.
The question is, do you need to have a degree in order to?
Yeah, he's asking whether you're required to have a computer science or an IT degree or be an IT degree holder to be a freelancer at the platform.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think I think there are certain skills that you can be able to acquire that can give you the leeway to do freelancing. I think freelancing is one of those things that you can do because of the skills that you've been able to acquire. You can even, let's say, for instance, you go and learn advanced Excel, for instance, just a hypothetical example, right? And then you offer your services to training people on how to do advanced or rather to work with Excel, advanced Excel, for example. That is already a freelance kind of role, isn't it, Edwin? Am I getting it correct? Yes, so freelance doesn't really necessarily require you to have a degree. All you need is to be able to build on a skill that you have acquired, and then from there you can be able to offer your services as a freelancer. I don't know if you're asking in the context of Workforce Africa, but also within the context of Workforce Africa as a freelancer, you don't necessarily need to have a degree. It will be good if you did. But if you don't have a degree, you can be able to join based on the skill that you've been able to acquire over the time that your employment time or maybe the time you've been in school. I don't know if that answers your question, Alex. The other question I'm seeing from Ruth is, what is Ruth asking is, will all the jobs get, it has gone before I've seen it. What was the question Ruth had asked?
Will all the jobs you get be advertised on the platform?
Okay. With all the jobs, the question is, will all the jobs you get be advertised on the platform?
Yes.
Oh, that's the question.
Yes.
Yeah. All the jobs will be advertised on the platform. We have a job board on the platform that we update regularly based on the jobs that we are able to get, and the organizations that send us requests to be able to put the jobs on the job board. We have a section where organizations can be able to share with us the roles that they're looking to recruit, and we'll be able to share on the job board. The other thing is that I wanted to mention this once we're done, but we always have a WhatsApp channel where we'll be able to update people to go and check out the jobs that are within the platform. So that is something that, yes, we do. All the jobs that are there will be on the platform, on the job board of the platform. Isn't it, Newton?
Yes, yes.
There's another question there that asks, are there opportunities for newbies in tech? For instance, people who are recently satisfied, something, I didn't finish it, it disappeared before I completed it.
She's asking whether there are opportunities for newbies in tech. For instance, people who are recently certified in various skills.
Yes, of course, there is opportunity for those who are newbies in tech. And the thing is that based on how the platform works, an organization can pick you depending on either you have a vast amount of experience or no experience at all. It just depends on the organization that is looking to recruit. So whether you are just recently certified or whether you've been in industry for many, many years, you can join the platform, and then from there, based on the skill that you have, an organization will be able to pick you for any role that they are currently recruiting for. So yes, that is possible.
And in addition to that, Mary, if I may add, some of the gigs, the client usually offers upskilling. There is upskilling offered to the freelancer who will be doing the given task. So yes, there are various opportunities.
All right. Another thing that I wanted to mention, and I think it's an advantage for those who are rather picked from the platform, is that one thing we noticed, and Newton can back me up on this, is that whenever we send talent to an organization and to work on a project, for instance, there's usually this phenomenon where the organization tends to like this individual, and they would prefer you to stay with them. And you notice this with organizations like Zepri, where we sent them a couple of developers, and they ended up absorbing these developers within their organization. So that is something that I've noticed that is happening whenever we send people. So that is an advantage to those who are within the platform. Any other questions on the floor or any other input? All right, Newton, I'd like you to pull up the last slide. Are there data analyst jobs? Newton, you will take that one as you're pulling up the slide.
Yes, there are data analyst jobs. You can always check the tab. Once you go to Pundit Space, visit the opportunities tab. We try as much as possible to consolidate jobs for all the fields in our realm. So yes. Another thing, maybe something Brand from Brand Magma did not mention. There's a project they worked on with a data analyst for a project that was in Mexico. So yes, there are projects for such.
All right. For those who are not, who have not joined us, who are joining right now, I think I don't know if I can't see it honestly, Newton. I can't see the presentation, but I think we have our contacts within that presentation. And what specifically I wanted you guys to log into is, for those who are joining, is the www.punditspace.io. Once you've joined in, it will give you a, yes, there it is. Okay. So we have this section that says www.punditspace.io. That is the website, and that is where the platform is, and that is where you'll be able to join the platform. I request, I think you can also just, for those who are joining in, I don't know if they can access the previous chats, Edwin?
And unfortunately not.
All right. So Newton, you can be able to share this link with them on the chat so those who are joining us to be able to click on it and then get to experience the platform. Get to join, get to see how the job board works, how the kind of jobs that are already within the platform. This is our office number. You can be able to reach out to us through this office number. That is our email address. You can send us an email anytime. We are located on the 3rd floor of Azure Towers on Lantana Road here in Westlands, Nairobi. So if you are either in Westlands or you're in Nairobi and you want to pay us a visit, you can just come by the office. We can be able to have a conversation. I don't know if there's any other questions, Newton or Edwin on the floor, or anyone else who has a question or something to contribute.
So unfortunately, no other questions in the chat box.
Right.
For myself as well, nothing else to add. Thank you.
All right. So I would like to share with you our call to action for today. One is I would like to recommend you to update your profile. By updating your profile, we'll be able to select you for various opportunities that we usually advertise on the platform on a regular basis. Secondly, I would like Newton to share the WhatsApp channel link so that you can be able to get up-to-date feedback on either the events that we are being part of, or the trainings that we are hosting, or any jobs that are being uploaded. You'll be able to get them real time within the WhatsApp chat, right? Without further ado, I think, Edwin, today, this was our presentation for today. I'd like to thank you so much for the opportunity for having us today and being part of your community.
All right, thank you very much. Round of applause, emojis, beautiful things for Jackson, Jameson, Brado, the lovely speaker that we had. Nazile Pops. Are we talking? Okay. Good. But nonetheless, thank you very much, Jackson, for taking the time to walk us through this lovely presentation. I think the one key thing that we're always trying to do is always make sure that we provide opportunities for our community as well. And there's no greater platform than your particular platform for actually the people that are actually either starting off their particular journey or ideally just professionals to be able just to learn, pick up opportunities, and hopefully be able to collaborate on, open projects in and around the country and the continent as well. So yeah, that has been it from us. Thank you very much. So just as we always wrap each and every lovely online conversation. So I just have one final ask of you before we wrap up this particular conversation. So tafadhali, we have to take the monthly screenshot photo. So if you all don't mind just putting on your camera, will usually take less than a minute. Then we can then wrap up this particular conversation. Thank you very much, Fran. Lovely to see your beautiful faces. Who else do we have? Who's going to be number 2 kuonesha kamera yake? Beautiful, Fred. Thank you very much. Thank you. Even from bed, it's even more beautiful. Alex, Nado, amazing to see your beautiful faces. Who else is going to be doing? Okay, I'm very sure there was some ladies in this call. What are these guys? Distribution kidogo too. All right. What do we have? I think a couple of chats that have been shared. Jackson. All right, cool. Two more people. Yes, we have here coming out on the screen. Who else? Great. Thank you, Felix, as well. Thank you very much. All right, Sasa. So people that just hold a pose. To smile to kidogo. We'll just take 2-3 screenshots, then we can call it around. So beautiful. So in 3, 2, 1, hold the pose. Amazing.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for making the time to be here today, and as well as your Workforce Africa Pundit Space. Thank you very much for taking us through what it is that you do as an organization, and the kind of opportunities and the kind of partnership that actually be born from this type of spaces as well. So for any kind of questions general, I have the next round of events I'm going to be having. Feel free to follow us on our social media channels. I have Nairobi across all the different channels, and we'll be able to engage with you and then be able to keep updated on the kind of opportunities, events, and programs that you're running as well that you might be able to benefit from. So that has been it. Thank you very much to everyone of you all. Feel free to drop off at your leisure. Till the next time, bye-bye.